Hello, everyone. Let's see, who do we got today? Who do we got on? Hey, Michael, Kevin. Hey, Beverly, Steve. Hello, Jared. Hello, hello, Brian. Hello, John. Hey, Marv. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Crazy Railroader. I think I've seen your name at Wilcox many times. All right, sorry about that. Was having some difficulties with the streaming software. Was not wanting to stream for some reason. Hey there, Mike. All righty. Hello, Donna. Awesome. Hello, Arizona Rails. Looks like we got a full house today. Hopefully this time the announcement went out. I've heard mixed stories. We tried the YouTube one this afternoon. I don't know if that went out or not. But I know we did send out the newsletter as well, or using the newsletter um, group. So we went both ways just in case. So definitely having a good day. Well, uh, yep, that's right. Crazy Road, yeah, Wilcox. Eventually, okay, who? So I just woke up the bot. I didn't even know the bot was on a live stream. Anyways, Wilcox. That's one of our. We're just going ahead and go through the updates, and since Wilcox was mentioned, that's going to be our first update. Wilcox, as many viewers have seen, has had plenty of they've had work. They redid their SP depot. They got rid of the old SP color that the building was painted with, and they painted it some kind of glossy white, or white, which doesn't do well with the camera when it comes to reflections and all that. But um, hello, Steven. And so when we first, as when after the first round of work was done and the camera got a little bit of overspray, Christy and I went out there and cleaned it up a little bit and tried straightening it a little bit because I don't know why they kind of like unmounted like two or three of the screws, and then when they put it back in, they put it back in crooked. It still is kind of crooked, but not as it was. But there's still a lot of overspray that was on the camera, on the motor, and all that. So we're planning on going to Wilcox, not this weekend, but next weekend in regards to cleaning out the motor, trying to see if we get the overspray out of there. We'll bring a lot of, we got some, we'll bring out some solution and a lot of, uh, pretty much Q-tips to see if we can get the motor cleaned out a little bit and see if we could also remove the spots that are still on the lens that can't see it really during the day, but at night you can see it, especially when how much glare could be at night at Wilcox when it's dark and the camera's pointing to the west. But that's one thing. So Wilcox, that'll be in a couple of weeks. Also, in that couple of weeks' time, we're also going to be installing a new radio feed next Saturday for at the Magma Junction, which pretty much Union Pacific, Phoenix Subdivision, and the Copper Basin where they interchange. So that's going to be happening next weekend, next Saturday. Um, and then we're going to go ahead, Mr. All In, put that hammer away. Marv, give him some puzzles. Okay, Steve did it. Never mind. Um, then we're going to head over to Wilcox and see if we clean that camera up a little bit, and also fix the. I know I've noticed when the cameras get zoomed in, I noticed that they when they were doing their work, they pulled out the Ethernet cable that goes to the PTZ, and they just left it hanging, sitting there on the ground. Um, Crazy Railroad, you probably see the long bunch of Ethernet cables sitting there on the ground right in the back if you're behind the building. So they pretty much pulled most of the cable out from the back, and it's just sitting there all wadded up. So, Jared, the radio feed that is Magma Junction. It's on the UP Phoenix sub. Um, we're gonna be there's a what do you call it? The Copper Basin Railway and UP interchange at the Magma Junction. We found a host. Actually, you may or may not know, but you've probably seen AZ Train Granny on our chat every so often. She's the one that recommended. She's the one that actually told us about this host that's nearby there. So we're going to be sending that up next weekend. So that's, and then we'll go to Wilcox and clean that up a little bit. Might run over to and on the way head over to Benson, take that cobweb off the static camera, and maybe I can move the cable for the antenna to get out of the view of the Amtrak am shed, I guess we'll call it. Anyways, so moving on. So that's that. Next update is there's been we've had a lot of questions in regards to what happened to Techno. Why is there no cars? Are they closing down? No, they're not closing down. Unfortunately, they had a loss in the family, and they're taking a bereavement until April 12th. But in the meantime, we're going to be still running the camera, running the feed, and the radio feed and the ATCS from there. If needed, they could go in and reboot if there's an issue. But that's why no one's seeing anyone attack them at this present time. There's a loss in the family. So Benson's interesting. Yes, Benson. Are you talking about the stall trains? But yeah. Um, next, um, talking about everyone keeps asking about needles, and I know it's been biting at the teeth. Needles, pins and needles here with needles. We did reach out. I did send an email. Um, yeah, that eastbound's going pretty quick past the camera. Yeah, Winslow. At needles. Okay, so they got the computers up. They're running the wiring. Now I'm waiting for them to hook the cameras up. Um, it's I got so now I'm just waiting for them to tell me when the cameras are hooked up. So either myself or Christy could monitor them and make sure they're aligned properly, and hopefully, um, they're not like sideways or upside down or whichever. Make sure nice and straight. But talking to the Needles crew, the city, they know what they're a lot of the guys there we talked to, and the mayor. They're very happy with what the cameras that's going in place. They're getting to push hopefully to get them up very soon. They know what they're looking for. One of the guys that's actually helping at the site. He's he's a volunteer for the motel there, sort of tours. He's also a really heavy rail fan, so he knows exactly what views we want, and he's gonna make sure the cameras are set to those views. Um, if for some reason they can't get hold of me or Christy, we'll figure. But hopefully they get those soon as the PCs are online. They got the wiring now. It's just a matter of them hooking them up. So that's what needles. Then so now next thing is the Mare Needles. Okay, so the Mare Needles. Long story short, with that one, Christy was in working with actually at the time was just working with one of the. I guess she's a tour. She used to be part of the tourism department, but she was also um I think she was like some kind of insurance or some kind of insurance as well out there. She just got what do you call it? Voted in to be the mirror for needles. Um, so she's actually helping getting everything moving along. Of course, the weather that we've been having, they've had some issues. They've had they've had some roof issues, not at the hotel, but at like their senior center, and a lot of storm damage that they've, the city that take care of. So we got bumped back a little bit. That's what's taking a little bit longer. But I said they got the computers up, so we're just waiting for that. Waiting for the cameras now to be mounted and plugged in. So now, going to the next update. This Sunday, April 2nd, is it? Yeah, April 2nd. Um, we will be out at Kingman in the early morning hours. Going to go ahead and clean up, do a little bit of maintenance work, clean everything up, check the wiring, make sure the wiring's still good after all the weather that it's been through between the ice, ice, was it rain? Who knows, lightning, whatever you name it, whatever happens out there, Kingman, wind. So we're gonna be out there just on Kingman Sunday morning. Um, we're gonna check all the wiring, all that. We're also gonna go through and we're gonna look and see if we can hook up the camera system to the router using Ethernet. Um, Currently, the camera system there at Kingman is using a Wi-Fi access point to their router because of the distance at the time, and at the given time where they put the new router, when they got their new internet, it was on the other side of the building, and there's no way to get a cable to the other side of the building with what supplies we had at that time. So we got the new length that they measured, and we're going to be going out there with. We're going to see if we can hook it up with Ethernet, and that should help with the quality of the video at Kingman. Maybe by chance we'll be able to put the crossing at Kingman at 1920 by 1080p. Hopefully, crossing our fingers. Also, but if for some reason we can't get the Ethernet cable, we also got a new wireless access point, a better grade one, a TP link, which gives us a better bandwidth and be able to use the Wi-Fi to its fullest. If we can't hook up Ethernet, that's our backup plan. So that'll be Kingman. We're going to take care of that. We're going to also replace the we're going to upgrade. We're also upgrading the VHF antenna that's at Kingman. That provides the radio feed there in the depot area. We're going to upgrade it to a little bit better VHF, a little bit higher gain, but not that much where it overpowers the feed, but just to get a little bit better radio quality there for Kingman. So that's the other thing we're going to be doing on the 2nd. So that's going on there for Kingman. Let's see. I'm trying to think. So now someone asked about the new cams. We do have some cameras in the works that we're talking about. As everyone knows, we have Roseville, California, which is next to what is it? Marv, what subdivisions are those again? Do you remember? I don't remember. I think it's the Roseville sub, and I want to say it's UP's Valley sub right there next to just north of Roseville Yard. I'm blown. My mind is kind of blank right now, but they're in Roseville. We have a location that we're going to put up a camera there, facing north towards the Y, where the two subs come into the Roseville Yard. There in California. Ross will install a radio feed for that. Um, yeah, Roseville sub. What was the other one, Jared? Do you remember what the other one was? Valley sub. Okay, so we're going to have that. Um, that's currently we have the fundraiser for along with the Jackrabbit trading post. Um, so that's in the Jackrabbit trading post is the Gallup sub. Pretty much trains are at high speed there, just like they are at Wilcox. Going back to the Roseville sub, um, right just south of that location where the camera is going to be, just south of there is the depot, and that's where I believe it's Amtrak 5 and 6 go through. They actually stop there, so you'll be seeing them passing probably at a slow speed when they pass that camera. Amtrak's 5 and 6. I think there's a local one there too, Amtrak California, that goes by a couple of times a day too, I believe. So those are the two we got going on there. There are other cameras in the works. We have we're waiting for the IT to get back to us for Albuquerque. And Albuquerque is going to be right at the New Mexico Rail Runner, right there at the depot where Amtrak sits, and same with the Rail Runner. It's going to be right there at their depot. So that where the manager there has approved it, and we're just now waiting to hear from IT to make sure they have the bandwidth for it. And if they do, then we'll see about what we need to do for Albuquerque. I believe there at the depot is just Amtrak 3 and 4 and the New Mexico Railroad. I don't know if BNSF has a local there. I think they're south of that location in the yard. I don't know if they ever passed the depot or not. There in New Mexico and Albuquerque. Yes, Mr. All-In. Okay. Mr. All-In, do you want Nightbot to come after you? Or do you need some more puzzles? Send it our way, Brian. So we're looking at we're trying to we could definitely look in that area. Going forward, on the next couple other cams that we have that we're looking into, we have what was it? And who is that? Who is that, Mr. All-In? Is that I know who you're talking about. Yeah, well, he hasn't been talking to me actually, so he's been talking to Christy. But I think he finally got. I think he may have got blacklisted because I haven't seen any emails lately. So, but anyways, I guess automatic spam blocker does strange things like that. Next thing before I go to the next couple other cams that are in negotiations, update on the Winslow PTZ camera. As some may have noticed, the Winslow PTZ camera went out on us earlier today after it did its reboot. It decided it wanted to act like it decided after it did its 2 o'clock reboot, it decided it wanted to act like a static camera for some odd reason. So we had I was busy getting ready for today, and some other things I had to take care of. And so what Christy informed me was she had to factory reset it. Looks like it was a firmware issue. The firmware decided to hose up on it for some reason. Not too sure why, but I'm glad it's back up. But going forward on Winslow, We're still waiting for final approval to move the camera to the pole. We're definitely hoping to get it before the desert willow trees there start blooming again, because they totally block the view when that happens. I hate technology, Michael. Thank you, Brian. Yes, definitely send that to me. And Michael, technology is only friendly when it works. Um, anyways, let's see, where was I? Forgot now. Okay, um, so more on that. I said Christy's been. I don't know I don't know how many managers or people she's talked to at Amtrak. She's actually got a direct line to the brands department at Amtrak that do like set it up like reservations for like big parties and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I don't know how you got that, but okay, that's fine. But she's also um uh she's we're hoping to get that camera moved at Winslow. Get out of that desert willow those trees before they start blooming on us again. Um, Next thing, there's a couple other locations that have well actually that have reached out to us in regards to um onto a cameras. Um, I may have mentioned it last call, but I'm not too sure if I did what. But we have everyone know about Martinez, California. They've reached out to us. Um, so they're they wanted to ask some questions about Martinez. I don't know what our cameras do, what we do for cameras. Are we, they had their questions, so they're took that back to their city manager, and um, now just here waiting to hear back from Martinez, California. Also, as Michael mentioned in the chat, there's also talks in in on the KCS line in Arkansas. Uh, talking with and we right now we're just waiting to hear back. We may last things we heard is we may just instead of we're talking about how we go route on doing that if they want to how they're going to talk to this they got to talk to their manager and then um their their then the city manager now we're waiting or town manager or town deputy or whatever they said they were called. So that's another one. That's just another one that's in the works. There's nothing set in stone yet for that one. So all right, so that's all our updates. Now I'll go to the questions in the chat. Okay, so what do we got? We have I do have family near there, Jared. Not in that state, but I do have a family that's pretty close. So it's if I need help, I could always just have. If I need help, I could just call my dad up and, hey, can you go over there? So, but we'll see. Um, Brian, your question about Talk Williams Junction. We were talking about Williams Junction, or I know we were talking about the it was asked if what do you call it? The Grand Canyon Railway. So in Williams, not Williams Junction, because there's really nothing out there in Williams Junction. There's a couple of houses, but that's about it. But they're like Grand Canyon Railway. We have some, um, and that's for the BNSF Phoenix sub, and Grand Canyon Railway. So that's probably the one you're thinking about, Ryan. Yes, there is a Jared. Yes, there is. but we're wait. That's been given a go ahead, but they want to give us about 3 or 4 months. Um, um, in Nevada, that's oh, Calante, is it? I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but um, yeah, I think that's the UP Overland route, and the city of Calante is remodeling their depot. They need in about 3 months or so, then they should be ready. So we're just waiting. So they'll give us the go ahead um once they're done, and then they'll let us know what they're actually gonna go ahead and put internet in that building for the system. So that's probably what you're talking about. Yeah, it's pretty potential. It's there. The city manager actually reached out and said he's all for it. He just wants to wait for the remodel, which is fine because we don't want what happened at Wilcox to happen there. um, so that one is that we're just waiting for them to tell us when they're ready. I told her to give us at least um, let us know at least a couple months in advance. Um, and so because he's also going to see if he could help with the funding for it. So he's going to see what he could get up from his city from um, the accountants there and see what he could throw at it, and then we'll just have to make up the difference. So we're just waiting to hear back from them, and I thought at least give us a couple months notice, a month and a half, 2 months, so we could get something going if he can't if we need to get a fundraiser started for it. Um, so so that's one you're probably thinking about, Jared. Um, and yes, there will be a radio feed. There's a couple detectors right there. Um, so, so that's that. And then let's see. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I could think of? I can't think of anything else for new. Any other questions that we can answer before we end our show today? All righty, Jared. Vic Victorville, is that Victorville, California? Is that the is that which one you're talking about, Belinda? Yeah, the one thing that we yeah, when I believe we looked in Victorville, but we could not find like the Amtrak depot. There's like according to Google Maps, there's like the Amtrak depot is owned by Amtrak. So and that's Chrissy may be able to figure out something, but I know we tried with them before at Maricopa, and they shot that idea down. But now, um, if the city actually owns the depot, then that's always a possibility because normally the cities are usually been pretty good with hosting rail cams. So yeah, if we can figure out who owns the depot, yeah. Hold on. Let's see where we're at. Mike, about the Benson platform. I have an email out to our host in Benson to see if they're when they're getting ready to start that process. They've been waiting for UP to get all their stuff out of the way, and now since they did that, now they can actually start working on it. Um, the the plan with Benson, as noted, yeah, it's going to be a pretty good sized platform, 300-foot platform. It did get moved over just a little bit, but not where it's going to be out of the view of the camera. It's still going to be in the camera's view. We're still going to see the whole platform. Um, they just had to move it over just a little bit because it was too close to the crossing, and UP didn't like that. Because it would be they didn't want to change the circuit in the crossing there at St. Pedro Street, which is to the east of the visitor center. So it's going to move over just a little bit. Not a big deal. So that's going to be. Um, they're hoping they get that worked on soon. I'll see once I get a date. I'll make a notice of it and publish it. So let's see. Nito's dual screen like Wilmot. Nito's is going to have two separate feeds. They're going to be set. They're pretty much going to be set up the same way as Gallup. Um, they got two PC. They got two cameras, two PCs. Um, the VHF antenna for the radio. So that'll be set up, and then they'll have the little picture in picture. No, Jared, we're not changing our name ever again. Not going to go through the domain domain name change. That was too much fun as it was. So okay, any other questions? Ms. Rollin, Washington? I'm not too sure about that one, but um, I want we at this point in time we'll keep that in mind. That's a that'd be kind of a long that'd be a travel for sure, but don't give Marv any more ideas, Mister All In. If I had to put a RailCam anywhere in the U.S., where would I put one? Hmm, that's a good question. I couldn't tell you. I'm not too sure. All right. Any other questions? Uh, Sounds good, Brian. I wouldn't at this point yet, not right now, Jared. We could chat. We could chat about that with Marv. You're welcome, Andrew. Mister All In, you need some puzzles. Anyways, okay. If there's no more questions or anything, thank you guys. Thanks everyone for joining, and look forward to our next call. We'll send out a news. We'll actually be sending out the April newsletter here. So, It's very close, Mr. Alden. Very close. Have a have a good night, good evening, everyone. Enjoy the trains, and we'll be back live probably. I would imagine probably this weekend. Um, this if any comes, if we have any more updates from needles or anything like that. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.